Welcome, warriors of the mind. In a world filled with distractions, noise and chaos, there lies a path to clarity, strength and peace. That path is Stoicism. It's not just a philosophy, it's a way of life, a way that allows us to rise above the storms and navigate life's toughest challenges with unshakable resolve. Today we embark on a journey to unlock 50 Stoic rules that will transform the way you live, think, and act. These are not mere words, they are principles that will forge your character, sharpen your mind, and guide you toward a life of purpose and tranquility. Each rule is a tool, a weapon to wield in the battle of life. The question is, are you ready to adopt them? The Stoics didn't shy away from hardship, they embraced it, knowing that in every trial lies the seed of growth. They weren't interested in fleeting comforts or easy victories. No, they sought wisdom, virtue, and resilience. And if you're watching this, you've already made the first step toward the same journey. So, let's dive in, because the life you're meant to live is built on these timeless truths. No shortcuts, no excuses, only action. Let's begin, and remember, Stoic discipline is the key to a better life. 1. Master your mind. The mind is the root of all things. It is the center of your strength and the source of your power. Every victory, every setback, every emotion, every action begins in the mind. The Stoics recognized that the mind is the one domain we can always control, no matter the external circumstances. Our thoughts shape the reality we experience, and our perception of events determines how we respond to them. To master your life, you must first master your thoughts. This means cultivating discipline over your emotions, keeping your judgments in check, and steering your mind toward wisdom and reason. The greatest power you will ever wield is the ability to control your mental state, regardless of external chaos. Whether in times of peace or turmoil, when your mind remains calm, rational, and focused, you become impervious to the world's turbulence. Begin by observing your thoughts, not letting them control you, but guiding them toward growth, understanding, and tranquility. Master your mind, and you will master your life. 2. Embrace challenges. In life, challenges are inevitable. But rather than seeing them as obstacles, the Stoics saw them as opportunities to grow, to test your resolve, to prove your character. Every trial, every hardship is an invitation to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Too often we try to avoid difficulties, seeking comfort and security, but it is through struggle that we develop the virtues that lead to a truly fulfilled life. The Stoics understood that the best way to build character is not by avoiding challenges, but by embracing them head-on. Life is full of adversity, but it is not the challenges themselves that determine your life's course, it is your response to them. Embrace adversity with courage, knowing that in each challenge lies the potential to become the best version of yourself. When life pushes you, push back with grace, resilience, and purpose. Every hardship faced is a step toward becoming the person you were meant to be. 3. Live in accordance with nature. Nature is not only a force outside us, it is a principle that exists within us as well. The Stoics believed that to live well, one must live in harmony with nature's laws. This goes beyond the natural world, it encompasses the nature of the universe, the cycles of life, and our own human nature. Understanding and accepting the natural order allows us to move through life with greater ease and wisdom. You must learn to accept things as they are, not as you wish them to be. The Stoic approach is not one of resignation, but of embracing the reality that exists in the present moment. To live in accordance with nature is to live in alignment with reason, virtue, and the flow of life itself. By understanding what you can control, your actions, your thoughts, your responses, and accepting what you cannot, you find peace in the natural ebb and flow of life. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity, rather, it means working with the grain of the universe, rather than against it. When you align yourself with nature, life becomes simpler, clearer, and more meaningful. Trust in the process, honor the natural course, and live with purpose in each moment. 4. Be present. The present moment is the only time that truly exists. The past is behind you, the future unknown. But the present is here, now, in your hands. The Stoics understood that the key to a meaningful life is found in the present, not in the shadows of what has been or the uncertainties of what may come. Too often we spend our lives trapped in regrets or anxieties, losing touch with the richness of the moment we are living. The power lies in your ability to focus on what is in front of you, to act with intention and presence. Every action you take, every thought you think, should be grounded in the now. The Stoics practice mindfulness not in a passive sense, but in an active awareness that the present moment is the only time in which you have power. It is the only time where you can make a difference. You can't change the past, and the future is full of possibilities and uncertainties, but right now is where your strength lies. To be present is to free yourself from the burden of the past and the worries of the future. When you live fully in the present, you find peace, purpose, and power, so embrace the now, for it is all you truly have. 5. Self-discipline is key. Self-discipline is the cornerstone of a Stoic life. It is the ability to control your impulses, to resist temptation, and to stay focused on what truly matters. In a world full of distractions, the Stoics knew that true freedom comes not from indulging in every whim, but from mastering your desires. Self-discipline is not about rigid restriction or harsh self-punishment, but about exercising control in a way that serves your highest good. It's about choosing what is best for you in the long run, even if it requires sacrifice in the short term. The Stoic understands that every decision, every action, every thought is a choice. The more disciplined you are in your actions, the more you shape your future in a way that aligns with your values. Discipline in your habits, your time, and your thoughts makes you unshakable in the face of temptation and chaos. The path of self-discipline is not easy, but it leads to greater freedom and fulfillment than any indulgence ever could. Through discipline, you forge a life of strength, collect strength. 6. Control your reactions. Life will always throw challenges your way. People will hurt you, things will go wrong, and the unexpected will happen. But in the end, it is not the events themselves that define your life, it is how you choose to respond to them. The Stoics believed that while you cannot control the external world, you can control your reactions to it. Every time something happens, you are faced with a choice to react impulsively or to respond with reason and virtue. The power lies in your ability to choose your emotional state, to rise above the immediate reaction, and to act in line with your highest principles. Whether it's anger, frustration, sadness, or joy, you have the power to choose how you respond. By learning to control your reactions, you master your emotional state and avoid being tossed around by the unpredictability of life. You choose how you perceive events, how you interpret them, and how you allow them to affect you. In the end, your ability to control your reactions is the ultimate test of your character. 7. Accept what you cannot change. There are things in life that are beyond your control. The weather, other people's actions, the past, these are things you cannot change. The Stoics understood that peace comes not from trying to change the unchangeable, but from accepting it. It is in this acceptance that true freedom lies. We waste so much energy and suffering trying to control things that we cannot influence. But when you learn to let go of these things, you free yourself from unnecessary burdens. Acceptance is not about giving up or resigning yourself to fate. It is about recognizing what is and what is not in your power. This clarity allows you to focus your energy on the things you can control, your actions, your thoughts, your attitude. When you stop fighting against the things you cannot change, you gain the freedom to focus on what truly matters. This acceptance brings peace, for it allows you to remain unshaken regardless of external circumstances. 8. Cultivate inner peace. True peace is not found in the external world, it is found within. The Stoics knew that no matter how much we acquire, how many comforts we surround ourselves with, peace cannot be bought. It must be cultivated from within. Inner peace comes from accepting yourself, accepting life as it is, and focusing on what you can control. It is the tranquility that arises when you stop allowing external events and emotions to disturb your balance. When you master your mind, you create a space of stillness and calm, no matter what is happening around you. The Stoic practice of meditation, reflection, and mindfulness helps cultivate this peace. It is the quiet confidence that comes from understanding that you are not defined by external circumstances, but by the way you choose to respond to them. Cultivating inner peace requires patience, self-awareness, and dedication. It is a lifelong journey, but it is the foundation of a life well lived. When you have inner peace, you have everything. 9. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is the foundation of a fulfilling life. It is not about having everything you want, but about appreciating what you already have. The Stoics taught that we must focus on what is within our control and find joy in the simplest things. When we practice gratitude, we shift our mindset from lack to abundance, recognizing that everything we have is a gift. Gratitude opens our eyes to the beauty and value in everyday moments, turning ordinary experiences into sources of joy and contentment. It is easy to fall into the trap of always wanting more, but the Stoics remind us that true wealth is found in appreciating what is already before us. By regularly reflecting on the things you are thankful for, your health, your relationships, your opportunities, you build a mindset of abundance and peace. Gratitude grounds us in the present moment, reminding us that the richness of life is found in what we already possess. 10. Be unmoved by praise or criticism. The opinions of others hold no sway over a Stoic's inner peace. Whether you are praised or criticized, the Stoic remains unmoved. The key is to focus on what truly matters, your own virtue and the pursuit of wisdom, rather than seeking validation from the world around you. Praise can inflate your ego and criticism can chip away at your self-esteem, but neither has any lasting power unless you give it. The Stoics taught that you should not seek approval from others, nor let their judgments affect your peace of mind. Instead, focus on aligning your actions with your principles. Do what is right because it is right, not because of how others will perceive you. When you stop seeking validation, you free yourself from the volatility of external opinions. You become anchored in your own values, and your peace becomes impervious to the fluctuations of praise and criticism. 11. Act with purpose. Every action you take should be done with purpose, not out of habit or impulse. The Stoics believed that every decision, big or small, should be guided by reason and virtue. When you act with purpose, you align yourself with your deepest values and intentions. You live intentionally, moving through life with clarity and direction. There is no room for mindless actions or distractions when you live with purpose. Every choice is an opportunity to build the life you want to lead. The Stoics understood that a life of purpose is a life of fulfillment, because it is grounded in what truly matters. To live without purpose is to wander aimlessly, to be tossed around by the winds of external circumstances. But when you act with intention, you are the captain of your own ship, steering it toward your goals and values. 12. Cultivate wisdom. Wisdom is the highest virtue in Stoic philosophy. It is the ability to make sound decisions, to see things clearly, and to act with insight and understanding. The Stoics believed that wisdom was not something that could be learned overnight, but something to be cultivated over a lifetime. To be wise is to have the ability to discern what is truly important in life and to act accordingly. Wisdom is not only about knowledge, but about applying that knowledge in practical ways that align with virtue. The pursuit of wisdom requires humility, for it is an acknowledgement that there is always more to learn. It requires self-reflection, as wisdom is gained through understanding oneself and one's own limitations. And it requires discipline, as the wise person consistently applies their knowledge and insight to their actions. When you cultivate wisdom, you are equipped to navigate life's challenges with grace and purpose. Wisdom is the guiding light that illuminates the path to a better, more meaningful life. 13. Seek self-improvement. The Stoics believed that life is a constant journey of self-improvement. There is always room to grow, always something to learn, and always a better version of yourself to become. Perfection may be unattainable, but the pursuit of excellence is essential. The Stoic strives to be better every day, seeking to refine their character, deepen their wisdom, and strengthen their virtues. Self-improvement is not about comparing yourself to others, but about being better than you were yesterday. It is the commitment to constant growth and the refusal to remain stagnant. Every day presents an opportunity to improve, whether through learning, self-reflection, or action. To live without striving for improvement is to waste the potential that lies within you. Embrace the challenge of becoming the best version of yourself, knowing that the pursuit of self-improvement is the path to a life of purpose and fulfillment. 14. Practice patience. Patience is the ability to endure difficulty, delay, or hardship without frustration or anger. The Stoics saw patience as an essential virtue because life does not always unfold according to our desires or timelines. When you cultivate patience, you learn to accept the pace of life without resistance. Whether waiting for the right moment, dealing with setbacks, or navigating delays, the Stoic remains calm and composed, knowing that all things unfold in due time. Patience is not passivity, but a recognition that everything happens in its own time, and that rushing through life only leads to frustration and poor decisions. By practicing patience, you develop the strength to endure and the wisdom to understand that some things are simply beyond your control. True patience comes from the inner knowledge that all things serve a purpose, even if that purpose is not immediately clear. It is through patience that we find peace, knowing that everything comes to those who wait with grace and understanding. 15. Avoid complaining. Complaining is the voice of dissatisfaction and resistance. It is the tendency to focus on what's wrong, rather than seeking solutions. The Stoics knew that complaining is a waste of energy, for it does nothing to change the situation. Instead of complaining, focus on what you can do to improve your circumstances. Life is full of difficulties, but dwelling on them only keeps you stuck in a negative mindset. Instead of lamenting what is wrong, take action to make it right. The Stoics believe that a person of virtue does not waste time on complaints, but rather uses their energy to respond to life's challenges with resilience and purpose. Complaining is a form of passive resistance, while action is the Stoics' path forward. The next time you find yourself complaining, remind yourself that you have the power to change your approach and focus on the things you can control. 16. Focus on what you can control. In life, there will always be factors outside of your control, other people's actions, the weather, the economy, and countless other variables. The Stoic wisdom teaches that peace comes from focusing on what you can control, your own actions, thoughts, and attitudes. The more you try to control things that are beyond your influence, the more frustrated and anxious you become. True freedom comes from releasing the need to control everything and instead directing your energy toward what lies within your grasp. By focusing on your own behavior, your response to circumstances, and your mindset, you reclaim your power and begin to live with purpose. The Stoics understood that the only real power you have is over yourself. So let go of the things you cannot control and devote your energy to mastering your own thoughts and actions. 17. Avoid excess. Excess in anything, whether it's food, pleasure, wealth, or even work, leads to imbalance and suffering. The Stoics taught that true contentment comes not from indulging in excess, but from living with moderation. Excess leads to dependency, and dependency strips us of our freedom. By practicing moderation, we avoid the traps of indulgence and stay in control of our desires. It is not that pleasure or wealth is inherently bad, but that overindulgence clouds judgment and leads to chaos in our lives. When you live with moderation, you remain in command of your actions, unshaken by the temptations that the world offers. The Stoics recognize that it is easy to be led astray by excess, but the disciplined individual understands that less can often be more. The key to living well is not about seeking excess, but about finding fulfillment in simplicity and balance. 18. Cultivate courage. Courage is the ability to face fear, uncertainty, and adversity with a steady heart. The Stoics understood that life would never be without danger, difficulty, or discomfort, but the courageous individual faces these challenges head-on, knowing that fear is often a greater obstacle than the danger itself. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the strength to act in spite of it. It is the ability to stand firm in your convictions, to do what is right even when it is difficult, and to keep moving forward even when the path is uncertain. In moments of fear or doubt, the Stoic reminds themselves that the greatest danger is not facing adversity, but allowing fear to dictate their actions. Cultivate courage not by seeking out danger, but by embracing it when it comes and moving through it with resolve and strength. 19. Let go of resentment. Resentment poisons the soul. Holding on to anger or grudges only keeps you shackled to the past, preventing you from living fully in the present. The Stoics understood that harboring resentment only causes harm to the person who holds it, not to the one who has wronged them. Forgiveness is not about absolving the wrongdoer, it is about freeing yourself from the emotional burden that resentment carries. Holding on to bitterness only clouds your judgment and robs you of peace. To let go of resentment is to reclaim your inner peace, to release the emotional grip that others have on your life, and to move forward with clarity and strength. The Stoics knew that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control how we respond. Let go of resentment and make room for serenity and wisdom to guide you. 20. Take responsibility for your actions. Taking responsibility for your actions is a hallmark of a Stoic life. It is easy to blame others or circumstances for our misfortune, but the Stoics taught that we are always responsible for our choices, regardless of the situation. When things go wrong, it is easy to fall into the victim mentality and shift blame, but this only weakens our ability to learn and grow. Instead, take full ownership of your decisions and actions. By acknowledging your role in both successes and failures, you give yourself the power to change, to grow, and to improve. Taking responsibility means that you do not look outside yourself for answers, but within. You control your actions and reactions, and by taking responsibility, you reclaim your power. This practice cultivates integrity and builds the character necessary to face life's challenges with dignity and strength. 21. Simplify your life. In a world filled with distractions, complexity, and excess, the Stoics believe that a life of simplicity is the key to true freedom. The more complicated your life becomes, the more you are weighed down by obligations, possessions, and unnecessary stress. By simplifying your life, you clear the path to clarity and peace. Eliminate distractions, focus on what truly matters, and let go of the things that do not serve your higher purpose. Simplification does not mean living without comforts, but rather removing the unnecessary clutter that steals your time and energy. A simple life allows you to focus on your values, your goals, and your relationships without being distracted by the noise of the world. It is through simplicity that we return to what is truly essential, finding joy in the present moment and peace in every action we take. 22. Don't fear death. Death is a natural part of life, yet many of us live in fear of it. The Stoics, however, taught that death is neither to be feared nor avoided, but accepted as a part of the human experience. Understanding and accepting the inevitability of death brings us closer to living fully. We spend so much time fearing death that we forget to live with purpose. The Stoic does not fear death, for they know that it is beyond their control. Instead, they focus on living virtuously and wisely in the time they have. Life is fragile and our time here is limited. By accepting death, we free ourselves from the constant anxiety and begin to live with greater urgency and meaning. Life becomes more precious when we realize that each day is a gift, and with this knowledge, we can live more fully and intentionally. 23. Be humble. Humility is the foundation of wisdom. The Stoics understood that no matter how much you achieve or how wise you become, there is always more to learn. Humility is not about self-deprecation or pretending to be less than you are, but about acknowledging your limitations and understanding that you are not the center of the universe. It is the recognition that there is always room for growth and that we are all interconnected in the grand design of the world. Humility allows you to approach life with an open mind, to learn from others, and to grow from your experiences. When you embrace humility, you free yourself from arrogance and the need to prove yourself. You allow wisdom to flow freely, knowing that true strength comes from understanding your place in the world and your ability to learn from it. 24. Maintain your integrity. Integrity is the cornerstone of a life well lived. The Stoics believed that your word and actions should align with your values. When you act with integrity, you live in accordance with your deepest principles and you build trust with others. Integrity means doing what is right, even when no one is watching, and staying true to yourself in the face of temptation or pressure. It is about consistency, honesty, and moral fortitude. When your actions align with your beliefs, you walk through life with confidence and peace. The Stoic who maintains their integrity is unshaken by external forces and remains grounded in their own values. Integrity is not just about avoiding dishonesty, but about living a life that reflects your highest ideals, earning respect not through words, but through actions. 25. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure is not the end of the road, it is merely a stepping stone on the path to success. The Stoics understood that failure is inevitable, but it is also essential for growth. Every failure teaches us something, whether it is about our actions, our mindset, or our values. Rather than fearing failure, the Stoics embraced it as an opportunity to learn and improve. To fear failure is to live in constant anxiety, always avoiding risks and growth. The Stoic, however, understands that every setback is a lesson in disguise. They do not fear failure, but see it as a necessary part of the journey. With every failure, you become stronger, wiser, and more capable. Failure is not something to be avoided, it is something to be embraced as part of the process of becoming your best self. 26. Live according to nature. The Stoics believed that living in harmony with nature is key to achieving peace and fulfillment. Nature, as the Stoics saw it, is the universe's guiding force. Everything that happens is part of the natural order. To live according to nature means to accept and align ourselves with the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. It is understanding that our lives are part of a much larger plan, and that we should live in accordance with virtue and reason, which are inherent in the natural world. By embracing this perspective, we free ourselves from the constant struggle to change things that are beyond our control. Instead, we focus on what we can influence, and we do so in alignment with the greater good of humanity and the world around us. When we live according to nature, we find peace in acceptance, strength in resilience, and clarity in our purpose. 27. Focus on the present. The present moment is all that we truly have. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain, but the present is here and now. The Stoics understood that focusing on the present moment is essential for peace of mind. When we spend our time dwelling on past mistakes or worrying about future uncertainties, we rob ourselves of the power of the present. The Stoics taught that we should focus on what is in front of us, our actions, our thoughts, and our feelings in the present moment. When you live in the present, you are fully engaged in life, making the most of each moment without being distracted by what has been or what could be. The Stoics remind us that peace comes when we accept the present, fully live within it, and direct our energy toward what can be done now. 28. Exercise regularly. Physical health and mental clarity go hand in hand. The Stoics believe that the body is the vessel for the mind, and by maintaining physical health, we improve our mental resilience. Regular exercise strengthens not only the body but also the will. The Stoic approach to exercise is not about vanity or pleasure, but about preparing the body to endure whatever challenges life presents. A strong body supports a strong mind, and through consistent exercise, you cultivate discipline, energy, and focus. Regular physical activity increases your endurance, sharpens your mind, and enables you to face the hardships of life with greater strength and vitality. The Stoics believed that the body should be cared for, not indulged in excess, and that by training the body, we are also training our character. 29. Limit your desires. Desire is the root of much suffering. The more we desire, the more we feel we lack. The Stoics taught that we should limit our desires to only what is necessary for a virtuous life. By doing so, we free ourselves from the constant chase for things that do not bring lasting happiness. Desire leads to attachment, and attachment creates dissatisfaction. The Stoics recognize that the key to happiness is not in obtaining more, but in wanting less. By limiting your desires, you achieve contentment with what you have, finding joy in simplicity. The more you reduce your desires, the less you will be affected by external circumstances, and the more at peace you will be with yourself. A life led by minimal desires is a life of freedom, free from the constant need to acquire and to possess. 30. Don't let your emotions control you. Emotions are natural, but they should not dictate our actions. The Stoics recognize that while we cannot always control the emotions that arise within us, we can control how we respond to them. Anger, fear, jealousy, and sadness are powerful forces, but the Stoic does not allow them to dominate their thoughts and actions. Instead, the Stoic observes their emotions without being swept away by them. Emotions, when unchecked, can cloud judgment and lead to rash decisions. The Stoic practice is to acknowledge emotions, but to view them with detachment, not allowing them to dictate how we act. By mastering our emotional responses, we cultivate inner peace and make decisions based on reason and virtue rather than impulsive feelings. The Stoic does not suppress emotions, but rather they learn to control their impact, maintaining rationality and calm in all situations. 31. Cultivate resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to change, and keep moving forward in the face of adversity. The Stoics viewed challenges as opportunities to strengthen our character. Life will always present obstacles, but it is our response to these challenges that determines our growth. Resilience comes from knowing that hardship is a natural part of life and that it is through adversity that we develop strength and wisdom. Rather than shrinking from difficulty, the Stoic embraces it, knowing that each trial is an opportunity to become stronger. Cultivating resilience means accepting that suffering is a part of the human experience, but it does not define us. It is how we respond to suffering that shapes our character and determines our success in life. 32. Don't attach yourself to outcomes. While it is important to work hard and pursue our goals, it is equally important not to become attached to the outcome. The Stoics believe that we cannot control the results of our efforts, only the effort itself. We can do our best, but the outcome is not always in our hands. When we become too focused on the result, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration. Instead, the Stoic directs their energy toward the process, not the outcome. By detaching from the result, we free ourselves from the anxiety that comes with it. The Stoic strives for excellence in their actions, but accepts that the outcome may be beyond their control. In doing so, they find peace in the journey, not in the destination. 33. Be a good friend. The Stoics valued relationships, understanding that a life well lived is shared with others. Friendship, in particular, is an essential part of the Stoic way of life. To be a good friend is to offer support, wisdom, and care without expecting anything in return. True friendship is based on virtue, not self-interest. The Stoic does not seek to use others for personal gain, but to help them grow and live virtuously. A good friend is someone who challenges you to be your best self, who stands by you in times of difficulty, and who celebrates your successes with genuine joy. The Stoic approach to friendship is grounded in mutual respect, trust, and shared values. By cultivating deep, meaningful friendships, we enrich our lives and the lives of those around us, creating a network of support that helps everyone become the best version of themselves. 34. Seek silence. In a world full of noise, silence is a rare and valuable commodity. The Stoics understood that silence allows us to connect with our inner selves and cultivate clarity of thought. Silence is not just the absence of sound, but the opportunity to reflect, meditate, and listen to our deeper wisdom. The constant chatter of the world can drown out our ability to think clearly, to focus, and to understand ourselves. By seeking moments of silence, we give ourselves the space to quiet the mind, reflect on our actions, and reconnect with our purpose. In the stillness, we find the answers to life's most important questions. Silence is a tool for self-discovery, a practice that deepens our awareness and brings us closer to wisdom. 35. Avoid flattery. Flattery is often used to manipulate and deceive, and the Stoics knew this well. It is a tool for gaining favor and approval at the expense of truth. The Stoic avoids flattery because it leads to false beliefs about oneself and others. By seeking praise and admiration, we risk compromising our integrity and judgment. Instead, the Stoic focuses on self-awareness and personal growth, not on seeking the approval of others. By avoiding flattery, we remain grounded in truth, and our relationships are built on honesty and respect. 36. Practice gratitude. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have. The Stoics taught that gratitude is essential for a peaceful life because it encourages us to appreciate the present moment. Instead of longing for more, we find contentment in what is already ours. By practicing gratitude, we build a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. This leads to greater satisfaction and joy, no matter the circumstances. The Stoic approach is to be thankful for the simple things, the breath in our lungs, the relationships we hold dear, and the opportunities we've been given. 37. Guard your time. Time is our most valuable resource, and once it's gone, we can never get it back. The Stoics understood that time must be guarded and used wisely. We should avoid wasting it on trivial matters or distractions, and instead dedicate our time to meaningful pursuits that align with our values. Guarding your time means learning to say no to what doesn't serve your higher purpose. It means investing in your growth, relationships, and contributions to the world. Time is fleeting, and the Stoic prioritizes it as their most precious asset. 38. Be present in your work. The Stoics taught that we should fully engage in whatever task is in front of us. Whether it's work, study, or even mundane chores, we should give it our full attention and effort. This practice leads to excellence and brings a sense of fulfillment as we focus on doing the best we can in each moment. By being present, we eliminate distractions and cultivate a mindset of purpose. The Stoic does not do things halfway or with impatience, but invests fully in whatever they are doing. Excellence in each task is a reflection of virtue. 39. Prioritize virtue. Virtue to the Stoics is the highest good. All other goals and pursuits should be secondary to living a virtuous life. Virtue is defined by wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. When we prioritize virtue, we make decisions that are aligned with our deepest values and highest ideals. The Stoic strives to act with integrity, to make wise choices, and to live according to their moral principles. This pursuit of virtue leads to a life of peace, happiness, and fulfillment, as it aligns our actions with our true nature. 40. Accept what you cannot change. Life is unpredictable, and some things are simply beyond our control. The Stoics believed that peace comes from accepting what we cannot change. Rather than wasting energy fighting against reality, we must learn to adapt and make the best of the circumstances we find ourselves in. Acceptance does not mean passivity or resignation. It means recognizing the limits of our power and directing our efforts where they will have the greatest impact. By accepting the things we cannot change, we free ourselves from frustration and disappointment and focus on what is within our power to influence. 41. Show self-discipline. Self-discipline is the ability to control your impulses, emotions, and behaviors to achieve your long-term goals. The Stoics believed that without self-discipline, we are slaves to our desires and impulses. Self-discipline enables us to live intentionally, rather than being driven by fleeting emotions or external influences. It's about making choices that align with our values and working consistently toward our objectives. With self-discipline, we build the foundation for a life of success, wisdom, and peace. 42. Maintain perspective. Perspective is key to navigating life's challenges. The Stoics taught that by changing our perspective, we can transform how we experience the world. When faced with adversity, the Stoic steps back and examines the situation with a clear mind. Rather than seeing difficulty as an insurmountable problem, they view it as an opportunity for growth. By maintaining perspective, we remain calm and rational in the face of challenges, and we can approach each moment with clarity and composure. 43. Practice self-reflection. Self-reflection allows us to examine our actions, thoughts, and beliefs. The Stoics believed that daily reflection is vital for growth. It helps us understand where we've gone wrong, where we've succeeded, and where we can improve. By regularly reflecting on our behavior and mindset, we learn from our experiences and align ourselves more closely with our values. Self-reflection is an essential tool for self-awareness and self-improvement, allowing us to continuously refine our character. 44. Stay humble in victory. Victory can often lead to pride and arrogance, but the Stoics remind us to stay humble. Achievements, while worthy of recognition, are not a reason to elevate ourselves above others. True humility comes from recognizing that our success is the result of many factors: hard work, timing, and sometimes even luck. By staying humble in victory, we prevent the corruption of our character and maintain the wisdom to continue growing. Humility keeps us grounded, making us open to further learning and improvement. 45. Simplify your goals. Setting clear, simple goals is a Stoic approach to achieving success. The Stoics understood that pursuing many goals at once can lead to confusion, distraction, and burnout. Instead, they focused on setting one goal at a time and dedicating all their energy to achieving it. Simplifying your goals helps you stay focused, maintain clarity, and avoid spreading yourself too thin. By focusing on what truly matters, you increase your chances of success and find greater satisfaction in your progress. 46. Be patient. Patience is a key element of Stoic wisdom. The Stoics believed that nothing worthwhile comes quickly, and we must be willing to wait for the fruits of our labor. Patience allows us to endure hardship without becoming frustrated and to achieve our goals without rushing or forcing things. By cultivating patience, we learn to trust the process and accept that everything happens in its own time. Life will unfold as it will. Our job is to remain steady and composed and to continue moving forward with perseverance. 47. Be cautious with your words. The Stoics believed in the power of words. What we say shapes our reality and impacts others. We must choose our words carefully, ensuring they are aligned with truth and virtue. Careless words can lead to unnecessary conflict, misunderstanding, and regret. The Stoic strives to speak with intention, to say only what is necessary, and to do so with clarity and kindness. By being cautious with our words, we cultivate respect and avoid causing harm with what we say. 48. Cultivate inner peace. Inner peace is the foundation of a Stoic life. It comes from within and is independent of external circumstances. The Stoics understood that true peace is not found in material possessions or achievements, but in the harmony of our mind and spirit. By practicing self-discipline, focusing on what we can control, and letting go of the need for external validation, we create an inner sense of calm. Inner peace allows us to face the ups and downs of life with resilience and composure, and it is the source of true happiness and contentment. 49. Live with purpose. Living with purpose gives direction to our lives. The Stoics believe that a life without purpose is a life wasted. Purpose gives us a reason to wake up each day and a guide for making decisions. A Stoic's purpose is not tied to wealth or fame, but to virtue, growth, and service to others. By living with purpose, we align our actions with our highest ideals and ensure that we are making a meaningful impact in the world. Purpose leads to fulfillment and helps us navigate life's challenges with resolve. 50. Embrace change. Change is inevitable, and the Stoics taught that we must embrace it rather than resist it. Change is a natural part of life, and fighting against it only causes unnecessary suffering. The Stoic accepts change with grace, understanding that it offers opportunities for growth and transformation. Whether it's a change in circumstances, relationships, or internal growth, we must remain flexible and adaptable. By embracing change, we allow ourselves to evolve and continue moving forward with wisdom and resilience.